one of the country's most high-profile attorneys, is now facing multiple charges in both New York and California. After appearing in a Manhattan courtroom Monday, he was released on $300,000 bond. When prosecutors say the allegations paint an ugly picture of lawless conduct and greed.
Overnight, attorney Michael Avenatti speaking out just hours after his arrest.
I am highly confident that when all of the evidence is laid bare in connection with these cases, when it is all known, when due process occurs, that I will be fully exonerated and justice will be done.
On Monday, U.S. prosecutors on both coasts charging Avenatti with a number of serious federal crimes. Prosecutors in New York say Avenatti tried to extort up to $25 million from Nike, allegedly threatening the shoe giant if they didn't pay up, he would release information he claimed would damage the company. On Monday, just minutes before his arrest, Avenatti tweeting that he planned to hold a press conference to disclose a major high school college basketball scandal perpetrated by Nike that we have uncovered.
Avenatti used illegal and extortionate threats for the purpose of obtaining millions of dollars in payments for himself.
In a statement, Nike writing in part, they will not be extorted or hide information that is relevant to a government investigation. According to two sources with direct knowledge of the matter, Avenatti's unindicted co-conspirator in the alleged extortion scheme is another high-profile defense attorney, Mark Garagos. He's known for recently representing quarterback Colin Kaepernick and actor Jussie Smollett. Garagos' attorney telling NBC News that Mr. Garagos has not been charged with any criminal conduct whatsoever. Avenatti is also facing unrelated charges of bank fraud and wire fraud in California. Prosecutors say he embezzled $1.6 million of a client's money to pay off his own debts. Avenatti rose to fame representing adult film star Stormy Daniels against President Trump, becoming a frequent critic of the commander-in-chief.
We elected the wrong man to lead the United States of America.
Mr. Trump's 2020 campaign manager firing back, tweeting about the arrest. Wow, what an amazing last 48 hours.
So it's early in the case here, Miguel, but how much prison time potentially could Avenatti be facing if he were convicted?
Well, if he were convicted on all charges in both indictments, up to 97 years in prison. Stormy Daniels recently cut ties with Avenatti. He must appear in federal court here in California on April 1st.